Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show, special edition on a Monday night. And April, I'm getting someone emailing saying that they have a bad link for light. So if you can double check on that, let me make sure that people are logging in correctly. Yeah, we're on. Y'all are coming on live. So we have a great audience coming on today, Debbie. So this is going to be so much fun. So Monday calls are typically reserved for a membership that I run through Living in the Extraordinary. And when I was traveling through Egypt, Debbie was kind enough to reschedule for this Monday. So it's like a bonus call with Debbie here. And I'm so glad. Well, it's always wonderful when Debbie's here and it's always so expansive, but it feels like there's a shift in energy. And when Debbie and I got on the call, we were talking about the sense of peacefulness that's like just like a spaciousness that's happening. And so I want to get into that a little bit. Debbie's going to talk about your intuition as well and calibrating, and I'm going to let her go deeper into that with y'all. And of course, we're going to do live readings with Debbie, so y'all are going to want to hang out for this call. This is going to be so much fun. And as always, Debbie's offering her sessions as part of the special offer, and sessions plus other recordings that we'll get into later. But if you know that you want to have a session with Debbie, this is a fantastic opportunity. Go ahead and click on the special offer link. April will put it in the chat box. And again, we'll get more into a description of what you receive in that special offer a little bit later. If you're new to Debbie, she's like one of my favorite people in the world. It's just so much love, so much abundance. It's just everything is always yes and yes and yes in the most beautiful, abundance and generous way. And it's, again, if you haven't experienced Debbie before, you're in for a treat. And again, we're going to get into angelic readings. But again, she's a psychic medium, and she has a special connection to the angelic realm. And she's been working with clients all over the world for over 20 years. And I called Debbie and was like, Debbie, help me out. I need a message. And she's always just so on point, again, with so much love and expansion. So she brings messages from your angels to you by channeling archangels, past loved ones, spirit guides, and healing. So it's always wonderful. And Debbie, I'm always so happy when you're on. Welcome, and thank you for being on the call today.
Oh, John, I love being on Beyond the Ordinary. I'm excited about tonight. I love the energy that we both kind of felt this evening and tapped into. I'm excited for tonight. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, as always. So when we first connected and we got on a call, Debbie, you were telling me this feeling of peacefulness and this joy that you were feeling. And I'd love to expand upon that, because I'm in a similar type of energy, and it feels freeing in a weird type, in a beautiful type of way. What do you feel is going on? What's opening in the field? What do we have access to that that perhaps we're more willing to be with?
So the free that you just said, when you said free, I was like, that's it. We talked about it feeling lighter, but free. There is something that's happened probably about a month and a half ago. I felt a change inside. There's a lot going on in the world, like chaos, and the past couple of years have been crazy and hard on a lot of people. But at the same time, I feel all of it has this spiritual purpose. It's a very spiritual time too. So a lot of inner work, I've been doing a lot of inner work myself. And a month and a half ago, I felt this shift. I'm like, oh, I don't have to rush. I need to have more fun. And there's no hurry. There was a freedom in that feeling. And that's new. That's like new, recent or new. And I'm thinking maybe it has to do with time, our perception of time, or the 5D is making time different for us, and just sensing that now. More sensitive to everything, but also more sensitive to the reality that We have plenty of time.
Yeah, and you're talking about that, and I just feel that peacefulness just streaming through me as it just feels like the awareness that that is occurring brings about even more of that. Like
Yeah.
again, the timelessness that we talked about earlier. It's and about maybe our brains are functioning differently, maybe through the lockdowns and the things that were happening and the disassociation or the rub of opinions and all that. We've gotten to a place that something has sprung from that that is beyond the original emotional triggers into a deeper sense of knowing ourselves, but also trusting our messages, our inner guidance, our own intuition, which is something that you wanted to expand upon as well tonight.
Oh, yeah. So I've always felt this, that during these times, if you stay connected spiritually and grow inside and work on the inside, you could actually be in bliss while the rest of the world is in chaos. The more you stay connected to spirit. And I feel like that's what's happening to a lot of people. They're connecting to spirit, their deeper connection. And it's causing this inner bliss, even though the outer world might have chaos.
How are you noticing that this is contributing to the way that you communicate with spirit guides and angels and people who have crossed over? Do you feel there's a different flow to it? Or I don't know, what's your experience with it? I'm curious.
It's easier. Everything's easier. It's not as thick. I guess the veil feels thinner.
Mm-hmm.
It almost feels like, in heaven it's bliss. So it almost feels like you can tap into that more and actually feel that more now because the veil's thinner.
That's so wonderful. And it's, again, you've done this for so long. I've always seen you this way, but it's like your ability just to, I'll have to say this, it's almost like you're so tuned to pausing to hear. And I think you're pausing and hearing is almost simultaneously, but sometimes you just want to double check to make sure that it's like, okay, let me just be sure. And so, but it feels like it's just becoming like just like a synapse going off in your brain, and just automatically it comes through you. You find it's that much more instantaneous where you don't have to tune in the same way. I mean, yeah, sometimes we listen a little bit deeper, but I don't know, it just feels like those electrical impulses are happening so much quickly that we've embodied them, where it's, again, as the veil has thinned, they're not separate from us. We are actually one and the same as to those benevolent energies that we're getting the messages from.
Exactly.
Hmm.
That's exactly what's happening. There's not a struggle to get, it's more fluid. Everything, the communication's more fluid. The from one side to the other, it's a lot more fluid. I love that. The synapses are working better.
Yeah.
Something shifted in the time lapse, I guess, of how to get to the other side in the communication. It's easier. It's way easier.
Yeah. And I'm finding from my experience that there's more time to do the things that I'm supposedly need to do. And it's actually like weeding out those superfluous errands that really don't have to be part of our typical rat race. I mean, and I want to word it in that way very specifically, because we're slowing down and discerning like what's really right for us and what's really that chaotic type of habitual pattern that doesn't have to be running in the background anymore.
Because that takes so much energy, and then the energy can be used in another way. It's like transferring the energy to something. The superpowers go from the rat race into your gift.
Oh, I love this. I love this. I think we're going to expand on it, Debbie. I think what I'd like to do is open up to Q&A, because it feels like there's there's these highlights that the audience are bringing in for the conversation. They're going to expand as to what's happening. I feel you and I being in such a expansion of that timelessness, that to ground it in through the questions that are coming in, or whatever whatever's spinning in the mind of the question that wants to be asked, that's going to land in the more open field of what we're talking about, that veil thin. And so if you're open to it, I would love to start opening the Q&A and we just start playing that way.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to start promoting a lot of y'all to panelists now. So many of y'all with your hands up, but we're going to get to as many as we can say. So we're going in deep. And all right. And my light people, my living and extraordinary people, hello. Guyana, let's start with you. Welcome.
Hi, John. Hi, Debbie. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, it's just such a gift every single time. And of course, I love being around John and everything that concerns him. But it's just amazing how we're all connected in the general themes for this time. And I wanted to start with saying that I'm also looking for that spaciousness. Starting to think sometimes that financial spaciousness is actually direct connected to the creative spaciousness sometimes. Well, of course, it does not. I create regardless of how much money I have, but sometimes the larger creativity in the sense of creating life, I sometimes feel a little stifled, when there is not evident amount of financial resources available. So how do you guys navigate through that?
Oh, wow. What a great question. John, you want to go or you want me to go?
I want you to go.
Okay. Well, first of all, Guyana, I just felt, as soon as she said something, I felt energy run through my hands. So whatever you're creating, it's like there's this energy going into it when you touch it. It runs right through your arms. Very powerful. So you have an energy going into whatever you're doing creatively. It's people are getting that energy. Now, I just heard think bigger. So angels are telling me to think, they would like you to think more like they think. They don't see a limit. They don't see that you're limited. They want you to think unlimited with your creativity, and that helps you with finance. That's what I'm hearing. You could keep asking the angels throughout the day, help me think like you, help me think like an angel, because I'm seeing certain limits that you can manifest that you don't want. There's a limit, there's limitations, or certain limitations that are stopping flow. That's what I'm hearing.
Debbie, I'm curious, and this is for everybody on the call, for me also. When we think about financial abundance, when we think about creating more revenue from that way, there's, of course, the effects of safety, security, those things that bring in that allow us to kind of relax a little bit more, and because that flow's coming in. And I'm curious what the angels have to say in reference to Guyana, and maybe in reference to a lot of us on the call as well. Do we approach the thinking bigger, as they're talking about, from the financial aspect, or from what the emotion is that the financial liberation brings us, so that we can find the creative outlets or the linear outlets to bring the financial resources in? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So when I say think bigger, if you have faith in your creativity, it's about thinking bigger about the whole picture. The angels see the whole picture. If you have complete faith in what you're doing, you'll be taken care of financially. It's eliminating the fear and replacing it with faith. that opens up the gate, that opens up the floodgate.
Okay. And does it help to be specific also? So for example, it's like, I want to generate another $1,000 or $1,500 a month. Does it help to get that specific as well? Or again, as we're thinking bigger, does that put a stopper on what wants to come in?
So so my answer would be $1,000. I wouldn't limit it, if you want 1,000 more, but it could be higher. So even if you put a number or higher, add that to it. So there's no limit. The biggest thing, I guess, what I'm seeing is what limits us or what makes us think small is fear. So where is your fear in your thoughts? Where's your fear at?
Right now?
Yeah.
It's certain sources of income kind of cut off, and sometimes when those dates kind of roll, like rent and stuff like that. And I'm a single mother, so I think that kind of am I not doing too good? Am I not able to? Of course, my son doesn't feel any of that because I find the sources of abundance in every turn. And to me, sometimes it comes as people and ideas, but I'm gonna be in a relaxed state. So I put all of my attention in relaxing myself, whether it's swimming or whatever it takes. I think self-love is the basis of our abundance. And sometimes when you get into like certain systems, and somebody else is kind of handling your creativity or even your schedule in a certain way, like that's the system that's going to lead you to financial independence. And I want to take, I want to make my own decisions. I want that sovereignty piece, and the safety. I think I'm doing such a great thing for the society. I think I deserve to feel that my basic needs are taken care of, and that's the feeling that I'm nurturing in me.
So the angels just told me you have new work coming soon. It's a new stream of work or a new opportunity coming soon. I'm hearing April, so that's next month.
Cool.
A new opportunity. So in the same kind of work. It's what you do already. I see a gentleman approaching you. So there is a new stream of income on its way to you. Just know it. No, angels are going to take care of you.
I can feel it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's funny that because right when you said that, I heard to be open to streams of income, both known and unknown, and not have to know where it's coming from, but just being open to it. So it's so wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
Oh, so good. I love that you just tuned right into that. All right. Alyssa, welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Debbie. One other time when you were on, we spoke and it was wonderful. So I'm very happy to talk to you again. I would just love to know if you have any messages for me. I could give you some information, but there's just so much going on with me. There's a lot. So it would take too long.
Thank you for being here. And the first thing I heard was someone in heaven is with you. I'm hearing someone say Father, and I heard it a couple times repeating. So it's either your father or someone related to your father.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
The first person I heard. Yeah. And okay. I heard Father loves you too. It's a message you need to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah. Angels also just sent healing to your stomach area or something in the abdomen. They went, as soon as that was said, I felt energy go to your abdomen for a healing in the stomach area and more circulation.
Okay,
There's
thank
something
you.
with digestion, if that helps.
That's kind of an issue kind of that comes and goes. Like, yeah. Thank you.
It'll be better. It's going to work better. But there's third chakra is the stomach area. This message that came in about the father and the stomach, they almost feel together. They opened up your third chakra, which if that is not totally working right, we will have stomach issues, whether it's all the time or periodically. So some kind of confusion is going to leave you. I'm seeing more clarity, like you're going to know what to do. All these things that have been kind of confusing you, angels say, clear.
That really is interesting, because for a long time, my third chakra felt like my like power, like chakra, like that was my strongest one. Not so much maybe the past, I don't know, 6 months, but yeah, that from the time I started working with my chakras up until 6 months ago, it always was screaming.
Then it's going to start screaming again.
Well, good. I hope so.
It's going to start screaming again.
That's good.
So good. I love tapping into that.
Thank
Alyssa, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alyssa.
And Debbie, I have to share, and again, it's my mind just in tune with the energy that you're running. But I just felt as you were speaking, like the angels just like holding Alyssa.
Yeah.
Holding, like it's like it's like it felt so beautiful. Just like Alyssa, you need to be held, and they were holding you. It's like they recognized that need for that comfort and the love from just being embraced. It felt so beautiful. I had to say something.
I'm really glad you did, John. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was very loving. You're right, John. All that was love.
You were being held, love. Thank you. You're so
Thank you.
It's funny. Guy wrote about the matter of attitude. I have no money in the bank. I live well because money always flows in when I need it. So I don't worry about it. But this actually brings me to something that came up for me yesterday. I was having a conversation, and I love, you can tune into me, into the audience, whoever it is. And the conversation is like, my energy is shifting, and I want to be very intentional with it, where my relationship with money was more in the ebb and the flow. And I'm really calling it forward into being in the overflow now. And there's a difference between the ebb and the flow and the kind of balancing and allowing it to grow and to be there without having to go up, dip. And it's just, there's an expansion that's happening with that. And that's part of the nurturing that I feel it's happening for me, or that I'm stepping into, and being aware that that's what I'm choosing to create, and open to different ways in which that can come in.
You're thinking bigger. You're thinking bigger like an angel. Angels, there's no limit. They don't have limits.
Yeah. So I'm glad you wrote that. And let's invite this overflow, and not just with money, but with health, or with your living situation, or in your relationships. Where can we open up to those places that feel uncomfortable because it may be too much, or we might not be able to hold it? And just surrender into what wants to come to us in love. So fascinating. All right, let's go now to in Atlanta, Eileen. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Hi, Eileen. And Eileen, let's get you to unmute, please.
Yes.
Hi.
I'm unmuted now.
Eileen Love, by the way, her last name is Love. Just want to let you know that.
Hi, Eileen.
I just, when you started out talking about fun, lit up because I had the most extraordinary fun day Sunday. I had decided that when I woke up, I wanted to do at least one new thing, something fun. Well, what happened was that I recently got chickens again. I had chickens before, and had I been doing different things and still part-time doing remote work from home, I had time to have hens again. So I have 4 hens, and they're really good. So I was down making sure they had food and water, and putting some greens down on the ground for them to pick around at. And all of a sudden I heard this other noise, and I heard them clucking a lot. And I turned around, and outside the coop, there were 5 turkeys. I don't have turkeys. I just have chickens. So when I got finished with the hens, and I went outside and locked their little coop area, I started talking to the turkeys, and they followed me back to the house. I took some pictures. Later on, I decided I can do this. I can take a video and have sound. And so I did. And I talked to them, and I said, well, are you going to talk to me gobble gobble like you did earlier? And I waited and I waited. That would be ever so nice. Okay, well, that's all right. I'm just going to move over here and sit down. And when I did that, they started gobbling. And I said, oh, thank you. But it was just such fun. And I have one other quick question, but I also wanted to know if you felt anything about turkeys, their message, or whatever. And my question is that sometimes when I meditate or when I'm getting ready and getting into bed, I will see faces, and they almost 99% of the time they're men. Sometimes I recognize them. Sometimes it's my main guide walks the forest. But last week I saw a woman, and she disappeared so quickly. I tried to say, oh, someone new. Who are you? What are you here to tell me? But I didn't get any sense of that. So turkeys and a woman.
Oh
What
my
can you
goodness.
tell
Well,
me?
I have to go to the faces and the right away, because that is mediumship. Seeing the faces is a huge sign of mediumship and spirit visits from spirit. So what I would recommend, no matter what the face is, angels, if this is not the light, get rid of it. So that way you're only dealing with spirits in the light.
I do.
And that way you do say that, you already say,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So if you're doing that and they're still staying around, that's when you can start communicating. So even if the face disappears, you could still try and communicate, because they might not be in your vision, but they're probably still in the 8-foot aura or trying to come back in.
Yeah,
That's an amazing thing to see.
it is.
Not everybody gets to see that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So cool, Eileen. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Debbie, I think that's a fantastic awareness of what to bring in, so that we're more open to receiving it, but in a really beautiful container that really supports us as well. So it's, yeah. Do you see it sometimes where people are open like that, and there's energies that come in that that really don't have the person's best interests?
Absolutely. So when you're open, when third eye's open, and you're open to mediumship, you're open to everything. That's why the angels are so awesome. They are a filter for riffraff. I call it riffraff. Lower energies that don't make sense or try and confuse you, or maybe just want your energy, and not in a good way. So get them out of there so that you can really communicate with those who really have a true the high messages,
Yeah, I love
Get rid of them.
Yeah, I love what's coming in with this, because again, I was having this conversation yesterday. It's like, how do you know what energies are good and not good? And it's I ask the spirit to reveal themselves. Either show yourself to me fully, and if you don't show up fully, then it's a no.
Right.
Or I could decide to dive into it, but I'm aware it's like, oh, okay, what's kind of playing here? But I don't suggest that, by the way. That's just me kind of playing in the field and having really good practices to expand a lot of support system, both etherically and here in the physical, where if it did cause something adverse in me, that I would have the support to really clean it out in a way that deserved. So good. Eileen, thank you so much. I love that you shared that. Let's
Thank you,
go
Eileen.
Let's go now to Donna Carey. Let's go to you now. Welcome, Donna.
Hello, Debbie. Hello, John.
Hi.
Hi, Donna.
Hi. I have a very unusual situation I'd like to discuss with you. I had a husband and wife cleaning team for between 2.5 and 3 years. He's an ex-con, I found out, and I think they may have been scammers all along. What has happened is I dismissed them, and they are now threatening to file a $20,000 lien against my house. But of course, I can stop the lien if I pay them, but they'll take less.
I heard he's bluffing. They're bluffing.
Well, should I file a police report or restraining order?
Police report. But they're bluffing. I feel like they're threatening you, and you need to, you definitely need to file a police report.
Okay.
You don't need a restraining order yet. I hear there more talk than actual action. So you have 2 men that are in heaven that will protect you. It's do you have two relatives that liked guns? Because they're both holding like guns.
Well, the one that likes guns would be my ex-husband that passed a few years ago. We were divorced for a long time, but
he's protecting you. There's somebody else with him.
Maybe my grandfather who raised me.
They are protecting you, and they're telling me he's bluffing. It's a bluff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
They won't actually do anything. Yeah.
Well, it's turned very nasty. So
yeah, do a police report for threatening you. Yeah.
Okay. And Donna, I want to give you an exercise for any of us who are in worry or a situation that has us spinning. And so just for the practice of, okay, what's worst case scenario? I mean, really just get to the rock bottom of that worst case scenario of what it is, and allow yourself to be in the worst case scenario without having to fix it emotionally. Just be with it. Acclimate to it. Not that you're carrying that that's going to happen, but just for the realization that if the worst thing that you can imagine did happen, how you're still okay, how the essence of you isn't being taken away, how your integrity is intact, how your spirit and your soul can't be sucked by somebody else's manipulation. And when you get to the bottom of that and you know yourself there, they have less control over you emotionally, because you've already gone to those places that they're trying to confuse you into. So just own it. Don't escape yourself. Be with yourself. And then imagine the worst case scenario and feel that also. And be in both without having an attachment to either or. And the second that you don't have an attachment, it's a slippery slope for people to hook into you.
Right.
Just can't.
Great. That's great, John. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a practice that I encourage you to do. If you need support with it, I'm happy to do it on the membership call next week with you as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go to our next caller. And let's go now. Dragana, welcome. Let's get you to come on.
I'm mute. Hi, Debbie. Hi, John.
Hi.
My main goal is I'm trying to participate more. So, not specific question. I will be very happy to hear any messages that are maybe if there's messages. And just want to say how much I'm enjoying you two tonight.
Oh my gosh.
You're wonderful.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Do you have, there's a grandmother, angels, I have a loved one that's with you, and they say she looks like you. She's already crossed over, a grandmother or a loved one in heaven that people tell you you look like or similar.
My father.
Did people say you look like him?
Well, I think I do.
Ah,
But it could be a male or
female. I thought it was a grandmother, so possibly on the father's side.
the way.
Hold on.
Dragana, we're losing you a little bit.
My grandmother's passed away a long time ago, 15, 20 years ago. Does that make a difference?
No, there's someone in heaven with you, and she says she looks like you, or people say they look like you look like her.
Okay.
Similar. And is there a sibling? You have a sibling?
Yes. Sister.
They visit your sibling too. They visit your sibling. They're around both of you. Yeah. Watching over you. And are you far apart? They're saying you're in different places.
Dragana's frozen.
Very far.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, we are far.
Yeah.
Me and my sister, we are very
she says
far.
It's a long journey between the two of you, but she goes back and forth.
That's right.
You're being watched and protected by her, like a guardian angel.
Okay.
Debbie, what's this energy with Dragana like? I'll call it being a priority. Like speaking and asking because you deserve to know, or because you count also, or something like that. But there's an energy, and obviously it came up. It's like, I don't really have a question, and speaking up and participating more. And do the guides have something to share with Dragana about that?
Well, they call her a teacher. They just said she's supposed to teach. Have you ever taught, or is that coming up for you at all?
Maybe I just don't know how to do it, but I keep hearing that.
Okay. I'm gonna
just don't know how I'm gonna feel that. Thank you, John, for asking question for me, the right question, actually.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, right one. That was the question I couldn't find.
I'm sure there's more, and I'm sure you can go deeper one-on-one with Debbie also. We'll get into the special offer here in a little bit, y'all. Hey, April, someone's saying that in the special offer there's 2 different prices, and so if you can clarify which one it should be. I think the correct price is probably in the shopping cart, y'all. So if you go through the shopping cart, whatever the sales page says, you're going to wind up in the right one, but it's there for you. Yeah, let me take one more caller, then we'll get to special offer, and then we'll get some more callers. Oh, it's so many of y'all I want to call on. Let's start with Deborah Michael. Deborah, welcome to the call. And let's get you to unmute. Yeah, find that unmute button.
Got it. Hi, I love you guys so much. Thank you for taking my call. I've had a reading with Debbie before, and you're amazing. I just am so grateful to be here. My sister and I both left our relationships on the same day, and we're both all of a sudden having stomach problems, and we're worried about money and jobs, but we're both very excited about being in a new energy. And I had texted in and said, did I miss the boat? Because you told me some things that were important to do about a year and a half ago, and I still haven't done them, but I'm doing them now. So any messages about that, or for me and my sister?
Well, first of all, Deborah, you're glowing.
Oh, because I'm looking
your
at you.
Well, no, this is you. Your
Yeah.
energy is, you are glowing. So your
That's-
spirit is happy. I know
Yeah.
it's hard, but it's
Yeah.
happy. There's this joy that's like seeping through your aura. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. That is the sign to me that whatever you're doing right now is right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like, don't look back. Just look
Yeah.
forward. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Now, yeah. Now, dairy. What's up with dairy? I'm hearing no dairy.
Oh. Okay.
Try that. Maybe
Okay.
your sister too. Maybe both of you. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I just heard it.
Okay.
Try that and see if that helps the tummy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I assumed it was just my situation right now, but fear, or I don't know. But yeah.
That will help. That will help you feel better, so you can have, well, they're telling me it'll help you feel better so you have more clarity. When you feel better,
Okay.
you'll have more clarity. It's
Okay.
going to kind of go reverse, the physical,
Okay.
then the spiritual. Yeah.
Okay. So the last week since my move, eating pizza every meal of the day, I shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, I don't have time to mess around. So I'm just like, food.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
Healthier. Yeah. You'll decide better. You'll make you'll be clearer. You'll make
Okay.
better. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Deborah, something I want to bring up also, and Debbie, I'd love for you to expand on this if it comes up as well.
Yeah.
It's Deborah, and it's happening for a lot of us. So I'm speaking. I'm not intuitive. Well, maybe I am intuiting.
Yes, you are.
Yes. Yes, he is.
And I have to say, you are shining brightly. I mean, I couldn't help it. It's like, oh no,
Yes.
Deborah. So it's just
Oh,
that's
thank
there.
you.
It's so wonderful to receive. Thank you. And that energy that you're emanating, it's part of the nervousness and anxiousness and the fear of the not knowing, because it's new. It's not because you're leaving something behind, but it's because you're not sure what the new is going to be. And there's a big difference between a fear of the past and what is there in the scarcity because you left something, and a fear that's anxious because it hasn't walked that path yet. There's something new emerging. And I really feel that that's what's coming up in this, and also why you're eating kind of that way, because your body's like, I need to kind of control and ground into something that I know, because
Right.
I'm not quite sure where I'm heading.
Right. I've been dragging around a wonderful business that has not been lucrative in about 15 years, but I'm very talented and I'm diving back into that. Debbie had told me a year and a half ago to get these pictures online, and that people wanted these pictures, and I never did it, but I'm doing it right this minute. And I assume my clients will come back around when I show up. But it's scary because I've tried to make it work for the past 15. My first 15 years were great. The last 15, I was starving. So
Wow.
I'm just.
Well, if you have the site up, will you share the link in the chat box so we can all check it out?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
My old website is mortifying, but the new one will be up. It's the same website address. The new one will be up in a week. So yeah, I will. Thank you.
Okay. Well, if you can't share here, then go to the Facebook page, the Beyond Tribe, which is a group of us here, and share it on there and share it with us in community, because we'd love to.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
With your energy, oh my God, yes, I want to see what's happening.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
There's like more of that in the world for all of us, please. Yes. And again, we're all into this. So it's, yeah, so beautiful. Thank you.
Very exciting. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Deborah.
All right,
Bye.
y'all, let's get into the special offer. We'll take some more Q&A, but I want to make sure that y'all have ample opportunity to sign up for a one-on-one with Debbie and also get into these additional recordings and transmissions she has for us. So the link, April, if you'll type the link for the special offer in the chat box, or if you all want to open a new browser and type in beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Debbie27 will take you to that same special offer page. And Debbie, what are people going to receive in the special offer?
Okay, I love creating these MP3s for the offer, and they are only available through BTO and through this offer. You can't get them anywhere else. And one of the ones is for deep soul memory activation. So I use crystal bowls and sound for, different healing frequencies. And this particular healing frequency, it's called Angelic Healing frequencies, will actually cause your soul to remember old stuff that's been dormant in the soul.
Oh, wow.
It wakes it up. The purpose, you just have to listen to it. It's just stuff that we have had, maybe that hasn't been awake yet. And that's what this one does. It's crazy. It did it to me. So, and the other MP3 is drawing in your soulmate. Now, this is a question and a topic that comes up a lot in the sessions that I do. And angels talk about the way we get our soulmate is through our own spiritual growth. So in this MP3, it's a guided meditation. It helps you activate, like, where do you need to grow? Where are you needing to grow in yourself that could activate bringing in a true soulmate? So we have different soulmates. We have soulmates who make us grow and then they go. But then there's the one true soulmate that we will get. And we can achieve that through spiritual growth. If we just stay on our path, they come in. So this helps you get to whatever needs to shift in us, all of us spiritually, to get that connection with someone.
Oh, this is great. And again, and then people are going to get 45 minutes with you also in a reading.
Oh yeah, and a 45-minute reading. Yes, yes. And that includes loved ones, messages, psychic, and healing, whatever kind of shows up in that moment.
Yeah, and the offer isn't just for new people to Debbie. It's anybody who wants to sign up for the special offer. Sign up. I'm getting one. April, have you purchased one for me yet? Have you? It should be an automatic every time that Debbie's on. It's like I'm clicking on to buy with you guys, and I want to buy with the energy as well because it's so wonderful. So it's so good. It's $137, a 2-payment option. You get the recordings, and I love the soul transmission. Also, I love that you put the Giza pyramid on there because I was just in Giza a few weeks ago. So it's perfect, divine timing.
Okay.
I'll let y'all read through the chats, and so many people are writing in about their sessions with Debbie and how amazing she is and how accurate, and just again all the love that transmits. I won't fluff it up anymore because I don't have to. Y'all are feeling Debbie, and again, it's an extraordinary offer. So I hope you all take advantage of it. And Debbie, there's one question I want to get to. Someone said that they were being attacked, and I typically don't take questions like that, but I want to find it. Or whoever wrote it, write it again, because for some reason I want to open up that container with Debbie here. So that'd be wonderful. And in the meantime, I want to call Kate D. Kate, you're just popping for me right now. So if you can unmute, it'd be wonderful to take your question.
Wonderful. Thank you, John. Hi, Debbie. I've gotten readings from Debbie a couple times. Everyone, she's awesome. So thank you.
Hi, Kate.
Hi. I was wondering if you could tell me, I'm in Michigan right now, if I should stay in Michigan and if I should move where to. I've tried my own ways of figuring it out logically, intuitively, and heck if I can figure it out.
Okay, so Angel said south. That I just, as soon as you said, where am I going or where should I go? I heard south. Then I saw a waterfall. So I don't know a location with a waterfall. Does that sound familiar to you?
Not in the South. I
Okay.
don't know South well.
Okay. So they said south. So it could be just south. It doesn't have to be way south. It could just be a little bit south. But a waterfall is significant.
Cool.
So you're not staying where you are. I think you know that. I think that your heart kind of knows that. Then angels say they'll reveal it to you more by June. You'll be really clear. June, July, you have steps that you're starting to take.
Awesome.
Yeah. But south of where you are.
Okay.
Debbie, this brings me to the beginning of the conversation that we had. We're in this place of timelessness,
yeah,
and of expansionness and peace, which you talked about earlier, brings freedom. And you heard freedom, like the freedom energy was coming in. It feels like we're re-entraining our minds and our chemical responses to not be as triggered, I guess the word, or stimulated by the not knowing in a way that causes us to retract or to create or to believe that there's scarcity, that there's actually something more opening up, and it's a process. Hey, I go through it also, everybody. But this like breathing into this trust and faith, and just that time is working for us rather than we're constricted by it and we have to hurry up and make something happen. It's a big shift that I personally.
Yeah, that's going on. And our minds are so powerful. Like I've noticed that more. What we think is more powerful. So if we can just get out of the fear and out of the small and change our thinking, the outside changes faster now. That's kind of sped up how we think and what we create.
Yeah, and a tool to get out of your fear, because it's so easy to get out of your fear, right?
Yeah.
Say it, but what if you just recognize that you're in fear when you're in fear? And that starts to be a breathing point. It's like, oh, wait, I'm in fear. Let me pause and have the critical awareness matching the emotional component to ground you in. It's like, oh, okay, I'm functioning from here right now, which makes sense, but I'm just aware, and it calms things down. It's not something that, again, takes us over. It's something that we get to dance with, and we get to choose how we relate with it, as with everything else.
Yep.
Yeah, so wonderful. Kate, thank you so much.
That's great.
It was me, John. I'm the one that's getting steadily attacked throughout.
All right, Destiny, awesome. I know I got you. I didn't ask you to unmute yet, but I actually, now that Debbie's tuned into you, I actually would love for you just to mute and let Debbie feel into your energy so that we can steady together. And so it's beautiful that you came on this way. And Kate, thank you for coming on. And yeah, Destiny, do me a favor. Just be with me and Debbie right now and just listen and take a deep breath, and you've got this, and Debbie's going to help you, and the angels as well. Debbie, what are you picking up?
So Archangel Michael is with her right now. I asked him to surround her in white light, and he's with her right now on her heart chakra. So there is an energy he's going to clear off the heart chakra. It's a lower energy. And I heard X-ray, or it could be from some kind of airport procedure, radiation, X-ray. It came in through that kind of energy, which some of us, our aura is very sensitive to that. So he's going to clear it right now.
Beautiful. Debbie, what would you say for someone, like Destiny, because there are people that this is recurring. It's like it seems to come up on a continuous basis, and it feels like there's a little reprieve, but then it's like the attacks again, a reprieve and attack again. And Destiny, just you raised your hand, and I say this with love through my awareness of different times that you've been on the show and other things like that. It seems to be a perpetual on and off, on and off. And so what can Destiny do? And anybody on the call who feels maybe the waves of different consciousness having relationship with us to help us to soothe perhaps some of that, what might feel like an attack.
Okay, no, I understand that. So some of us are more sensitive to attack than others. So I feel like she's more sensitive to it, but I keep hearing, what is she doing to her aura? What is she not doing to take care of her aura? We all have this aura that if we don't, take spiritual good care of it, it gets holes in it, And a couple ways we can do that is being in fear a lot, like high fear constantly. And that can lower our auric field. Also, like I mentioned, radiation, certain narcotics, certain medications. If they have any opioid or opiate, they can cause holes in the aura. Also anesthesia and certain procedures of numbing, dental procedure. Those are triggers for auras going low.
Mm-hmm.
And another one that I have to watch is being tired, being really tired, or being in a hungry state, like not, that can also weaken the aura. So the more sensitive you are, the more your aura can be weakened by simple things. But I mentioned the big ones too. So if any of those ring a bell with her, or with anyone listening, and you're experiencing this, I would look at what you could shift with holding your aura more solid.
I have a being that's with me, like from the time I get up to the time I go to sleep. So it's like I have interference that just never seems to leave me. No matter if I clear it out or not, then there's aspects that seem to call it back in. So it's not like I'm doing this because I'm a victim or because I want attention or anything. I seriously am having some problems that I don't understand why I can't get rid of this.
So
all right, Destiny. And I'm going to suggest that I'm going to let Debbie answer, and maybe the angels can come in and do something to help Destiny right now. And Destiny, a session may be appropriate for Debbie. So again, we're going to shroud you with a lot of love, and anything that you want to provide now, Debbie, would be wonderful. Or Destiny.
The angels, so they cleared off the negative energy. They're saying that there's no negative energy around her right now. Good. So Destiny, are you still feeling something?
You're muted, Destiny.
Oh.
I still feel a lot of fear.
Fear, yeah.
Okay, but the energy around you, they say, is not negative. So if you're feeling something, it's of the light. Just want to let you know that it's safe to talk to it or communicate with it if you'd like. It's not a dark being. They got rid of what was. Okay.
I feel that. I feel my whole body relaxing as Debbie's saying that. Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny. Sending you so much love.
Yeah. Take care, sweetie.
Yeah. Okay, it's Kim. I am taking questions from the Q&A, so I'm going to take your question now. So Kim wants to know, I'd love to hear from my angels if there are any new spiritual gifts that will be unfolding for me this year, and how I might be using them to support humanity as I start to rebuild my spiritual practice. I love it.
The angels pointed at her ears. So that's clairaudience or hearing spirit. That is going to open up. That's a type of psychic gift. So I feel like she may start hearing more and hearing frequencies, hearing sounds, hearing spirit. So that's going to open up for her.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. All right, let's go to our next caller, Eileen Polinsky. Eileen, welcome.
Oh, Eileen.
Hi there. It's good.
Hi, Eileen.
This has been the most incredibly strange week of my life.
I don't
know
know.
what to say.
Sorry. It's just, yeah.
It's I mean, you know, a cousin of mine passed a week ago, and it was very sad because I didn't get to see him. And then my nephew suddenly had to have brain surgery. And it's just been the wildest week of my life. So I'm wondering what you pick up. And it doesn't feel right for me to go there.
To go visit them?
Yeah, they're in Las Vegas.
Yeah, no, that doesn't feel right. It feels like you could do more from where you are with prayer.
Yeah, I mean, I channeled the whole time that he had the surgery.
Yeah, that feels, it feels like you're doing more from this end where, you know, where you are.
Yeah.
You're stronger that way for this situation. Yeah, it's the right thing, Eileen.
Yeah, and you know, I'm still in the midst of a family feud, so I didn't want to create a circus by going there in the first place.
Well,
So,
and I want to ask you a question, Eileen, because again, this goes back to the beginning of the call, Debbie, and of course you already know this, Eileen, but I just want to perhaps point out what seems obvious to me, is that you're following your intuition. You already knew this, and so that trusting that intuition part is so important.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I really sat with it today before the call, and my guide said to me, you know, don't go.
There you go.
Yeah. So now it's a question of getting back to my work that seems to be slowing down. Do you have any message about that?
Well, I heard it keeps coming. So it's not going to stop. Even if it's slowing down, it's still coming.
Yeah.
And I want to share also, this also gets me back to the beginning of our call. We're in the space of timelessness, where we think things are slowing down, but we're giving spaciousness for new things to come in. Again, the themes of today's calls are just so melding together.
Yeah.
It's a different energy that we're all stepping into, and the space in between, where before we thought we had to fill it with doing for creation out of self-worth, self-value, contribution to humanity, whatever it was. There's a level of intimacy within self that's actually becoming more godlike in its creation, in that spaciousness and timelessness. And so learning to flow in the in-between, it's a challenge, and it's beautiful as well. It's both for me.
I think I needed to move past all of this, you know, heavy emotion and get back to the flow.
Beautiful.
You know, yeah. Oh, sorry, John.
Debbie, after you. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, you know, it's funny that the work's slowing down, but you have a lot to do emotionally. You just helped your family with the surgery and channeled. You'll get busy when this passes. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Sometimes the angels give us breaks. They give us breaks.
Wonderful. Eileen, thank you so much. And sending you some of your blessings. Melissa Bickerton, are you on the video by any chance? Because I'd love for you to ask your question live. You are? Okay, good.
Hi. Hi, Debbie. I would love to know.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi. I would love to know if I'm going to get the job that I'm up for that works in LA right now.
I heard you're getting another one. They're saying you're getting a different one.
Can you say more about that?
Would the same place have another position to put you in?
It might.
That's what it feels like.
Okay.
The same place is going to say, well, we want you to do this. It just feels like it's another job than what you think it is.
Okay. And is it coming soon?
Well, I heard March. That's now.
That's
There's not many
now.
more days. Yeah, there's not many more days left in March, but that's what I heard. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. And I want to give you an
Yeah.
energetic practice, Melissa.
Go
For
on.
For these jobs, as they come in energetically, we're so used to putting ourselves in the box that they want us to fit in. And for you, I want you to expand and saying, open that box as to the expansion, the energy, the gifts that you provide to it as well. And the energetics, like, yeah, I filled that box and this is also what I'm bringing. So don't be so concerned about you filling the box. Fill the box and say, yeah, and.
I like it.
It's a big energetic practice, and it actually increases your confidence on phone calls, follow-up meetings, everything else, because you know what you're bringing and more. It's like you thought you were going to get the first course of the meal, and you're getting dessert, appetizer, and everything else. And just own that love and that creativity and your contribution. All of us, let's own what we bring to any relationship that we're in, not just to tick off the box, but the fullness and the gift that you are. It's so beautiful. I'm so glad that you raised your hand, Melissa. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Thanks, Melissa.
All right. Sue O, welcome. There you go. Find that unmute button, Sue. It's there. I promise you it's on the screen.
I think I found it.
You did.
So this is my first introduction to you. So I want to thank John for this intro between us. I'm very excited.
Hi, Sue.
What you have helped me. I'm sorry. I've got a major delay here. So my question is, I am in massive transition. I'm looking for a career change. I need to buy a new house and I need to buy a new car. And it's like, so I was just wondering what you see coming forward for me. Do I go back to my old career or is there something new coming?
So first of all, I want you to know you're on the right path. Whatever made you change all of this, angels say is the right path. Now, they're showing me black and white for career, which means they said to find the gray area. So your career, I feel like you could do something you were doing, but doing it a different way. If that makes sense.
And you're actually muted. Yeah, so you're muted right now. If you can unmute.
Okay. So I am a licensed colon therapist and I've done that for 13 years and I really want to transition out and do something completely different. And I've been communicating with my guides really since I was a kid. And this past year, I've taken a couple of courses to try to advance my ability, where they just don't talk to me when they want to, where I can actually communicate with them, you know. And so that's a path that I would.
Sorry, there's just a little delay. What I'm picking up is you might actually combine that with what you were doing. If that makes any sense.
Yes, I did a lot when I had my office still. I definitely called in for help in different situations because I had some pretty tough cases at times. But honestly, I don't want to do colonics anymore.
And Sue, the best thing for you is probably to take you off speakerphone, and this may be a little too late because that's where we're getting feedback. But let me go ahead and mute you and let Debbie wrap up the tuning in for you.
Well, what I picked up for her was Angel said there's a gray area as she shifts from career. So maybe it's not in specific colonics, but it could be in health and mixing that with intuition, because I do feel like she has a lot of health and intuition that could help people. I don't feel like that should be totally put aside. That's what I'm picking up, to mix health with her gift.
It feels like that's resonant. So thank you for calling in, and yeah, go deeper with a session with Debbie. I think it could be really beneficial.
Yeah.
And yeah, nice to meet you. All right, let's go to, is it Drew Renee or Renee Drew? And
it's
welcome.
Drew Renee.
Drew.
So my question is,
wait, hold on a second. Oh my God, you're such light. It's like I freaking just feels so good just to have you on here. All of y'all, but it's anyway.
Thank you. Well, that's good to hear, because I've been waking up with like this super heavy energy where I feel like I really can't do much. And I'm wondering like what that is. And it's like, is there anything I can do to alleviate it?
So Drew, thanks so much for being here. First of all, you have a similar glow to you that Deborah had. So did you recently make a change in your life, or recently let something go, or decide you're not going to do something anymore?
Yeah, my job and like friends, like a lot of things have been like leaving.
Yeah, you have this glow that the girl had. Like, you're on the right track with whatever you just shifted, because your spirit's glowing. Now the rest has to catch up.
Gotcha.
I love it. But go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh no, so like, is there like, I mean, is there maybe like a timeline where things will start to catch up, or anything I can do to help like move things along?
Well, the first thing I heard for you was your adrenals are still healing from what you left behind. And the heaviness, so they gave me a supplement. I heard ashwagandha at night will help you in the morning. So there's adrenal fatigue or healing from whatever you came out of, and the physical body's going to heal that. And it helps the heaviness in the morning. You're going to see a shift with that.
Awesome. I'll try that. Sure. Thank you.
Drew, thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, the summertime, I heard, she's like, when are things going to shift? And I heard summertime, that one of those songs that had the word summertime in it.
Will Smith, summertime. Yep.
That's it. Thank you. That's the one.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Drew, thank you. Hey, Debbie, how much of this heaviness, and again, as empaths that so many of us relate to, many, I'm not going to put all of you all in that box, but a lot of us, it's so easy to say, but the collective energies and this and the heaviness of that, how much do you feel is really, and we'll say for Drew right now, and even for Deborah earlier, how much of that is collective energy, and really how much is that ours?
So there's a way to discern that. So for each of us, if we feel really heavy, angels, if this is not mine, release it. And then whatever kind of lifts, I'll say it for the whole group.
Yeah.
Anyone listening right now, angels, release anything anyone is holding on to right now that's not their own. Please relieve them of anything right now that's not their own. And I'm sure a lot of people just took a deep breath.
I did.
Me too. Me too.
So good.
You can do that and then see what you're left with.
Amazing. All right, let's take another caller. Magic Mike. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Oh, sir. We can. Yeah. What's your question for Debbie?
I've been doing what the whole group's been doing, and I'm cutting a lot of things out of my life and changing a lot and transitioning. And like I shared earlier, I just found myself at a job that keeps giving my little brother told me to get for him. So he's got any messages, because I forgot about it till today again.
In different heights.
Yeah, he was my little brother, but bigger.
Okay, but was one of you taller and one of you shorter, or?
A little bit. Yeah, not too much,
Okay.
but a little.
Because someone's with you, but they're different height. The heights, I just see different heights on the brother. Archangel Michael wants to talk over your brother about your job.
Okay.
Okay. So Archangel Michael said there's something better for you. There's something better for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And your brother, I feel like, is kind of like your cheerleader. He wants you to be happy. He said, "Be happy for me." He feels joy through you. You're happy. He gets like a hit from it.
Okay.
So, yeah, angels are saying there's another job that's better for you, even though this was good for now. There's another opportunity or something else. And I saw a big letter S.
Okay. That's interesting.
S could be the name of the company or a clue of where to look.
All right. Does it have to do with any of the work I've been doing in the last couple of years?
Yes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, swarm. Yeah, that's me.
There you go. Yep.
I've been
That's
wondering
from
what he's gonna do.
That's from your angel. Yeah.
The other lady, I heard the word contracts. So she's clearing things, but she's got to break those contracts until she breaks every single one of them. And some of them renew, even though you break them, because you knew you would do this, to put it that way. So you wrote that in there. Wasn't a good idea. Seemed like one, but it's what we do. Break all the contracts.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Mike. And what always we say for other people, we do for ourselves as well. I do that also. Oh, I just spoke that way. What contracts am I breaking? So wonderful, right? So what's happening in those contracts with your brother? What's happening in the contracts with these other things that are evolving, right? As you let go. And for so many of us that are letting go, have we really closed the door, or do we still have a toe dipped on the other side?
Yes.
Right?
I have an emotional lock onto something that I'm cutting out right now. And
right. So
use that to get in.
Yeah, but again, I want to bring it up for so many of us that are letting go, even of opportunities that we're being presented even with the abundance. Choose between these five, and are four of them really deep dives into the past and repeated patterns, and the one's something new? And are we really ready to tear up those contracts, or say those contracts are complete, and really move forward in a new direction? And if you're nervous, anxious, and those feelings are coming up, check in with yourself. Oh, am I afraid to let go of the safety, the familiarity, the comfort of these old contracts, of the ways of doing things? And it's challenging, because it can feel like there's a dying off process, like you're in no man's land by yourself, but it's also how we're being directed into new energies as well. So I love that you brought this up, Mike. Thank you so much.
And
Thank you.
Sorry about that, Mike. Debbie, what's your awareness about that?
Well, first of all, I love that. I love that you brought that up, and that's true. And I think if our toe is still in something we're trying to let go of, there's the fear. We're afraid to really let it go. And angels say if we release a fear, we get a miracle.
I
Release
love that.
fear. Release a fear, get a miracle.
Wow. Oh my God, this is so good. Y'all, the special offer of Debbie, you've got to go in deeper with her. It's just all this, like the release of the contracts, the what isn't mine collectively. It's releasing fear and getting the miracles in. It's Debbie's not only going to read, she's going to empower you. And you just know. And again, so many of y'all have written in about your previous sessions with Debbie, and I encourage you to get more because these energies just keep expanding. So again, the link for the special offer, 45 minutes with Debbie, plus the recordings. Oh, Debbie, wait, I'm going to pull it up because I want to speak into them. The drawing in your soulmate guided meditation with the angels. And I have been feeling a lot of people really bringing this in somehow, or even expanding your current soulmate's relationship into a new awareness.
Yeah.
Of what's there. What do you have to say about that, Debbie?
Well, it's exactly the meditation also works on if you're in a relationship and you're stuck, and where do you need to grow to help the relationship? Sometimes it helps to just go inward and focus on what you need to grow at that time to help an existing relationship. So yeah, it can help on all levels, whether it's trying to bring someone in or one that's already existing.
Yeah, this is so good. And so again, you have the 45-minute one-on-one session with Debbie, the soulmate guided meditation with the angels, and the angelic healing frequencies, the deep soul memory activation. And I also think this has to do with the timelessness that we're in, Debbie. Even the pause of that, it's like we're gathering and we're reintegrating aspects of our soul that had been fractured off through lifetimes, through trauma, through forgetting. And we're embodying those gifts of ourselves back into ourselves. So this is so resonant for me as you bring this in as one of the healings that are available in this offer as well.
Well, this one, we all came in with gifts, and some of us kind of wake up one day, I know I did. One day I was like awake and I was like, whoa, here we go. But what else is still dormant? What else did we come in here with? Might as well get that too. This helps activate it.
Amazing. Again, the offers that are it's $137. We have the price in two different places. It's $137, $147. At the checkout, it'll be $137. So just click through it. Don't question it. 2 payment option on it, and you get to have your one-on-one with Debbie and get these recordings and be in the energy that she just so beautifully channels in through her resonance and her embodiment. So again, I hope you can gift yourself that. And first, the recording of tonight's call, we'll send out in the replay link a little bit later. Give us about an hour and that'll be activated. You can always access replays by going to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/replays, and they'll be on there. And Debbie, we're going to have another full-on Q&A session.
Okay.
Sometimes there's so many people that I wanted to get to today that we didn't. But also, y'all, thank you for being on the call and the energy that you're providing, listening to the replays as well. I felt these activations and these conversations that are kind of navigating around the full call, like coming into a cohesion that really served all of us. So Debbie, thank you for providing that space and for holding the threads for those wisdoms to come in so that we can all benefit from them. It's, again, just so wonderful as always.
Thank you, John. No, it was awesome to do this together with you. It was amazing. And thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I love you guys. I look forward to seeing you on the next call. Have a fantastic evening. And yeah, I'm so touched by the light that I'm just feeling on today's call. I love you guys. Good night.